When's the last time you got healthy?
Probably would have been maybe. What was the COVID year?
What do you recall about that night?
That was like when we had no fans.
2021.
Okay, so yeah, probably 1920.
1920. Because you did that when you got hurt?
Like I started feeling the injury like in the playoffs that year when we went to the bubble.
Went to the bubble. Okay. Yeah. So that 2018. So that COVID year was the first time. Like, what's the difference for you?
It's good. I mean, it's I feel like just even throughout camp, like hard days, they're hard on the body, but it's not hard on the injury anymore, right? So that's the fun part. Just obviously not dealing with pain. I mean, that's a huge part of where I'm at. And, obviously my summer as well. Not having to basically rehab the whole summer, and you can like train and train more like an athlete, I guess. That was probably the biggest thing going into this off season, which was exciting for me.
It's mental too, right? To understand, like, it's going to be hard on the body, but at least it's that. Right?
Yeah, and listen, like there's definitely times you have to keep an eye on it day to day and just make sure everything's good. But it's more like it's not the joint anymore, which is like something you can't really change. I mean, you can change like soreness and tightness and things like that around the area, but when your joint is arthritic like that, there's nothing you can do except just try as best as you can to get a little relief here or there, or whatever it may be. So the joint isn't an issue anymore, which is the biggest thing.
It seemed like for the last couple of years, wherever you've gone, it was like just jumping in.
Yeah.
And instead of now not just jumping in, do you feel as though it's almost like a new lease on your career?
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad thing. I mean, I think being in one spot for so long and then coming to New York was extremely exciting for me and my family, and have nothing but good things to say about the experience here. Even though you wish you would have played better, you wish the team would have done better. So it was an awesome experience, and then going to another Original Six franchise in Detroit and jumping in mid-season and kind of being in the playoff hunt all the way to the end was some exciting times. There was some exciting moments, obviously, for the team and for me personally as well. So it was a fun year, and when you're thinking about making your decision and where you want to play, all that stuff comes into your mind and what you want to do. So I was excited to come back.
What do you see as the potential for the team this season?
Like as far as
what it can achieve.
I think the biggest thing for us is just being a good team night to night, and hopefully that leads us into the playoffs. We want to be better than we were last year, and we were pretty close last year. Obviously we got 80 games left, so it's tough to just think about getting into the playoffs, right? Like you need to be good throughout the regular season. You need to build your game. I think we've, myself included, we've been just okay to start the season, but hopefully we can get some momentum here after last game and getting a win under our belt and feeling good about that. Obviously, we have a tough schedule, New York a couple times, and going into Nashville the next few games, so be a good test for us.
Just as far as this, now that it's your second or first full season here, do you find yourself like being more assertive with leadership-wise, or was that pretty natural even early on last season?
No, I mean, listen, like we have a bunch of guys that can be leaders in here. I think the message to the group is just kind of be yourself, lead in your own way, and I think that's the way you do it. You don't want to be anyone you're not, right? I think we lost a big voice in the room in Karan, so there's some leadership void that needs to be filled a little bit with that, but I think we do it collectively as a group.
He was the numbers cruncher guy, right? He was the one, I think, kept doing the math on how many points you guys needed to get to.
Oh, he was. I thought that surprised me.
Eric was saying that, the training camp, that you guys joked about it, that it was like, and you said it was like, it was the hardest camp I've been through in a while, but you needed it.
Yeah.
What made it hard? Why'd you need it?
I just think the volume, day to day, being on the ice 2 hours every day, the first, 5 or 6 days. That was nothing I was you skate, but you don't skate to that volume and that intensity for that long, right? So it's good. It's good to test it out and see where you're at and kind of do like it's more like mind over matter at that point, right? So I thought it was good for me. I didn't have a training camp last year, even though you're doing a bunch of stuff yourself and pushing yourself as hard as you can. But I liked just kind of being with the group, being with the team, and just having the training camp.
With that, just looking at your two line mates, obviously you guys have the familiarity between you and Alex, but playing with Larks too, I mean, can't help but notice the three of you guys smiling out there the whole morning skate.
Oh, yeah.
How much fun are you having with those two?
Yeah, obviously I've been with the Brink guy for a long time, so it's nice to kind of be reunited with him back in Detroit last year, and probably one of the bigger reasons I came back. And this year I just think just being with the whole group last year and seeing a lot of the guys you become close with or develop chemistry with on the ice, and Larks, Alex, Razor, Cider, guys like that you enjoy being around every day and enjoy building that chemistry with on the ice is a huge thing day to day being in this business, right? So you want to make it fun, you want to enjoy being around your teammates and have fun out there, and I think we do that a lot in practice and try to get the best out of each other too.
How odd is it to have so many guys in this room that have played back to me?
Is there a lot? I mean, I know we got me, Gus, Copper. So what's that? Vladdy, yeah, Vladdy. Talbs, right? And who would the other one be? Mater, yeah. So it's listen, it's a great place to play. I had a great experience here, and just the energy of the city and the energy of the building and the organization. It's something that can't really be matched, especially in this venue, right? So I enjoyed it so much, and they've obviously had some great runs, so they're making deadline deals and acquisitions, and a lot of guys, Copper was a deadline acquisition. I think Mater was 2 years in a row. Myself, Laddie, I know Talbot was here for a while, so they're a good team. They're be a good test for us tonight.
I just want to ask also, with your Buffalo ties, obviously, I know it's only your first full year here, but is there any sick and tired of hearing about Detroit, Buffalo, Ottawa? One of those teams taking the next step. Are you hearing it? Or
Yeah, you hear it. I mean, even from the outside, when
back home in Buffalo too?
Yeah. I mean, they're obviously, throughout the whole process, trying to get me to come back there. But I think one of the teams probably has to take a step eventually, right? And kind of you go through the rebuild for 6, 7, 8 years. It's all of a sudden it's all right, it's time to take that next step. So I guess we'll see which one does it.
Going with that, Alex and net.
Alex lined in net. We definitely wanted to get all three goalies some action early on. Didn't necessarily have a plan of three goalies for the first 3 games, but it worked out perfectly. Excited to see Alex tonight.
What did he show you last season? I mean, first the way he handled himself those first 5 weeks, and then the way he came in cold and sweet.
Work ethic, compete, gives a huge boost. The ability to win in this league. I mean, I believe we had a 16-4-2 stretch. And if we had one person in that stretch, that was our MVP, it was him. So guys are confident with him. It gives us a boost. So it's just his compete. Excited about seeing him tonight.
And is Jeff Petrie available? Or what's
Jeff
your
Petrie's
lineup?
probably in that still day-to-day.
Okay.
So be a little cautious there. We expect to see him on Thursday.
And
So
with Fisher as well.
Fisher's out, yeah. In that day-to-day, he's definitely out tonight. And again, I don't know about Thursday.
So what's your lineup will look like tonight then?
We're going to have Austin Watson in for Fisher, so the same forward group. And we're going to have the same D group as the other night. And again, I think a little bit had to do with just a really good defensive performance. So we're sticking with that same group.
How encouraging was it the way Albert played?
Very good, very good. And not surprised. Again, it's tough on that very first game. It's his first NHL game. There's so much to learn. his family coming in, missing a flight, his brother missing his flight. There's a lot that goes into it. You probably don't think, but he was good. He showed exactly what he started to show towards the end of his year in Grand Rapids last year. Puck mover, defended, competed hard, gave us a nice game and a boost to our decor.
We know that this is a business side of things, but how did Wheeler take being put on?
Tough
waivers?
conversation always, and like you nailed it. It is a business, managing your roster. So communicated, very similar to what I did with Justin. We obviously haven't given up on you. Asked Justin to be ready. Literally 24 hours later, he was in our lineup.
Derek, big picture, Patrick Kane being healthy at the start of the season, first prime, probably for a while, that he's healthy at the start of the season. What does that mean to you guys? What do you think it means to him?
Well, he had a really good camp, and I think he can drive us with just his ability and approach. So I think him being healthy, I think helps. It's just his own mindset too. His 5-on-5 hockey was actually excellent last year. And I just think it helps, solidify the group. I kind of liked our lineup coming into this year. A little more true top six, bottom six. We feel we can check a little bit better, especially in games like this when you have really tough matchups throughout. And him playing at that level would be important for us.
Makes a big difference when a guy gets to camp, right?
100%. And we joke, and I know with our media, he told me this was his hardest camp in his career. But then why he is the pro and the type of Hall of Fame player he is, he said, but I needed it. And I think that's quite an example to all of our young guys.
What are you hoping to see from Austin?
I'm very sorry.
You should have done that 10 minutes ago.
We ruined his routine. Today's routine, he'll be a mess throughout. So, no, you're good. What was the question?
With Austin, what you're hoping to see?
To play 5-on-5 hockey, to play what he showed us in preseason. He was a great 5-on-5. He killed penalties. He won puck battles. Obviously, we like the edge in the lineup. And I love his energy. I know wasn't excited about starting Grand Rapids, but he did let me know he's a scorer at that level. And I rolled my eyes, and sure enough, he goes down there and makes 2 unbelievable plays on the rush. So I think he kind of knows, he's understood his identity, and we want his identity tonight.
Back to Billy for a second. How will they manage the minutes down there? I know that Sebastian's going to want to play. And
I think we'll get through tonight, and we'll get a better feel of what we want to do. Obviously, the 2 guys that are day-to-day could be finding their way back in the lineup. So again, it's not the fact that we've given up on them. We might see the net again here soon. So just the same message, be ready. I think we'll have a better understanding tomorrow.
Is the
You got
fact
2
that
more
you
coming.
Here we go.
2 more coming.
That's easy.
the fact you may only need help for one game played into why you didn't call up? Because Casper looked so good in the exhibition. But
Exactly. Again, I think the mentality is if Casper's coming up, it'd probably be more of a long-term scenario. This is potentially a short-term scenario. And again, same as Casper. There was many scenarios he could have found himself in our lineup on night one. But these are good problems to have. We haven't had this push or this luxury in a while.
Says you about Cider.
You got 2 more coming.
You're doing a great job.
I am. I'm just directing. You're here.
Pardon us.
Joey, you okay?
Good. Just a question on Cider. This is a 3-year anniversary since his NHL debut tonight. As he starts year 4 here, season 4, how have you seen his evolution? Where do you see his game right now?
He's impressive. We ask a lot of him. I'm not going to say it's unfair. It's funny. I get the question a lot. He gets I think analytically, he was up as maybe the toughest matchup for the longest period of time in the entire league. But that's not going to change, especially the way we're built. So I think he understands that, but he's embraced that. And we had a really good team game the other day. A really good team defensive effort, and that's how we're going to need to look to be successful, and he led it. So when he's driving in that part of his game, I think the rest of it's a bonus.
Thank you.